We're going to unmask the governor, too. He don't like to wear a mask. Who does? It's a hoax, people. Come on. It's no different. It's no different. I remember I was wearing a mask when everybody wasn't going in Lowe's, and they're looking at me like I'm a nut. Now I'm not wearing a mask when I go into Lowe's. They're looking at me like I'm a nut. So I guess I'm just a nut. So here's what we're going to do. Is Andrew Cuomo guilty of infringements on the Second Amendment right? Innocent or guilty? Yeah. Okay. Is he guilty of trying to put up some wind turbines up on the lake? Is he guilty of putting a surveillance system on the thruway so no one can travel freely against the 14th Amendment? Weren't they supposed to do away with those tolls anyway? I think I'd get behind that. All right, another thing for guilty. Who's got something? Is he guilty against a 9-month abortion? I mean, come on, people. Guilty or innocent? Guilty.
Nursing home patients.
Is he guilty against the nursing home incident? Is he guilty of making an ass of himself with his brother on CNN? The Communist News Network? Don't get me started. God.
Religious freedom. Religious freedom.
Welfare reform, guilty or innocent? Guilty. Bail reform, oh my God, letting out the bad guys? Come on. Guilty. Anybody else? I know he's got a list. I only got 3 minutes. Frank says I'm done.
Defunding police. Defunding police.
Defunding the police? Are you kidding me? You can't write Black Lives Matter on the freaking street down in New York City? I mean, Blue Lives Matter, but you can do Black Lives Matters? Come on. I mean, and let me tell you something. We're all brothers and sisters here. The Black Lives Matters, Antifa. You know what I said? I said my wife says, honey, they're protesting in the street in Buffalo. Somebody got run over by a car yesterday. You know what I said? I'm glad they're protesting in the streets. They're waking up. They're not going to see it the first rally or the second rally, but if they stay watching, they're going to see this great country come back alive. And it's because of people like you who go back and talk this up, and you put your country first. All right? That's all I got to say. Thanks for coming out.
I gotta tell you, I wasn't expecting 50 Shades of Cuomo up here today, but I guess that's what we got. We are more than halfway through. Those of you who are standing in the sunshine, and again, I would remind you to stay hydrated. And true confession, the only reason I'm wearing the mask is because you know, and I know, that if I wasn't wearing a mask and I came down with the virus, they would say, talk show host who objected to masks down with COVID-19. So this is nothing but a PR thing, all right? I'm being kind of a phony, but I'll always tell you when I'm being a phony. Right up now, we've got Rick Donovan, candidate for Congress in the 26th District of New York State. Rick Donovan, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, thank you, everyone. I only got 3 minutes. Thank you, Frank, at 1791 for having me here today. Are we sick of Cuomo? Because I sure am. I'm the Republican candidate for the 26th District with the independents and conservative backing, and I need your help. Because I'm sick and tired. I'm in this race. I'm just another worker just like you. And people got to realize that when these narcissists like Cuomo want to inject socialism, that means there's no pensions, there's no Social Security, there's no private ownership. And this is what these people want to do. Once I'm in office, and we win everything, the House, the Senate, and I'm in, my first objective on the House floor is to get rid of that New York City. Because we don't need it. Because once New York City's gone, we will be the richest, one of the richest states in the Union. And we will be red, red, red. They'll be paying for our electric, they'll be paying for our gas, they'll be paying for our water. We will have school choice. We won't have a government-owned teachers union telling us what we got to teach our kids. And we should have a say as that as parents. Some of the other things I want to do in the city of Buffalo is a mega trade school. Oh, we have trades, they say. Well, I'll tell you what, I graduated from Seneca, and there's only 30 kids in the morning and 30 kids in the afternoon. My objective is to have 1,000 kids during one course of the day. A school so big that when our children want a job to go to GM or to Ford, Chevy, Moog, those places, that they'll have a skill to help themselves in society. What these socialists want is to get rid of electoral college. That's what my opponent, Brian Higgins, wants to do. I understand he's a pretty no-shower in the Congress floor. I promise I'll be there all the time representing my district and representing my country. I want to uphold the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. I'll be protecting our borders, building our military, stopping illegal immigration, and kicking MS-13 right in the ass and get them the hell out of our country. I want to support our veterans and make sure when they go to VA they get their medical treatment in a proper time. And we do need to maybe, and we certainly do, need to lower our medication costs. And we should open the door to Canada like President Trump wants to do. It's to lower our medications for our people. Another thing too, Social Security. I believe in Social Security, and I believe it should get a damn raise for Americans that put into it. We got people like Cuomo and the rest of them in the state gave themselves a 64% raise, but yet an old lady or old man on Social Security gets a $7 raise and cuts them out of food stamps. Is that right? No, that is not right. I'm in this as a patriot, first and foremost. I'm a conservative veteran, and I really respect all those people who have died in many wars, and they're probably standing up in their coffins right now to see what the hell's going on with these communists that we have in the Democratic Party, to include Effigy, Cuomo. So, El Duce? There we go. Well, that's all I have to say, and I hope I can get your vote. So if you know people and family in Lackawanna, Cheektowaga, Buffalo, West Seneca, City of Niagara Falls, and all the town of Wanus, let them know I'm running, that there's a Republican candidate out there that wants to kick them out of office. And thank you so much, and God bless America.
Running against Brian Higgins, I want to shout out somebody else who ran against Brian Higgins last time, got 35% of the vote, Renee Zeno. So there certainly is opposition out there. Now, our very next speaker is a candidate for the New York State Assembly 141st District. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a guy with the best first name ever, Jazz Miles.
Hello, everybody. First, I'd like to say thank you, Jesus. We're out here on a beautiful day. Thank you, Jesus, because I live in the greatest country on this planet, America. I'd like to thank him one more time because I get to work or serve under the greatest president in my lifetime, Donald J. Trump. Now, the bottom line is, 1791 Club, I gotta say, to a man, woman, and child, I will protect every right it is to legally carry a firearm in this country. Now, I gotta say, there's a few states in our country that are like a thorn in the side of our duly elected president. California and a few others, but we can only do something about our state right now in New York. We can re-elect the president to help the country, but we need to take care of right here in New York. So now the state assembly has been under Democratic majority since 1975. Now Crystal Peoples-Stokes has been in the state assembly for 16 years, and she's the majority speaker for the assembly. When I was growing up, people would say, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. Well, I have to say, Crystal Peoples-Stokes, as I call her Party Girl 141, party over principle, Crystal Peoples-Stokes has given Cuomo the inch that made him a ruler. Like me, Jazz Miles for the state assembly over Crystal Peoples-Stokes, we will take back that inch and stop the rulership of Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York State. I'm leaving you with this one thing. If you could just help me out right quick. I'm hearing a lot of people talk about voting and showing up in person. If you could just entertain me. Stand up. Stand up. No, I want everybody to say, please say, stand up. Stand up. And go vote. Go vote. casting you aside, November 3rd, we turn the tide. Okay? When they take away your vote, they take away your hope, and they'll take away your rights in the middle of the night. So please, stand up and go vote. It's a song recorded by Rick Donovan and myself. Look it up online. Stand up and go vote. God bless America. God bless Donald J. Trump. And let's kick their ass! And we dig it!
Love the passion. This kind of passion you must transmit to your friends and your relatives. Please, I implore you, those who believe as we believe, please get other people to vote. It's so easy to complain, but just that one step of voting can be so incredibly important. Right now, candidate for New York State Senate in the 60th District, Josh Mertzlufft.
I'm losing power here.
I know.
My
How y'all
brother's about
doing?
to die.
Who's ready to take back New York State? Listen, this year has been rough, at least to say.
Design.
But we have some opportunities this fall. In New York State, we have the ability to change our future. If you're like me and you don't like the path that New York State is currently on, join me in my mission to take back the New York State Senate. Now we're going to do a little thing. Raise your hand if you live in Hamburg. How about Evans, Brant, Orchard Park? Keep them up, keep them up. Tonawanda, Grand Island. I'm running to be your senator in New York State. I'm running against Sean Ryan, who's our current assemblyman here in Hamburg. If you like the direction that New York State's going, by all means. But if you want to change our future, if you want to make New York have a future for our families, for our children, and our children's children, vote this November, Josh Mertzlufft for New York State Senate. And I'll tell you this, on day one in the New York State Senate, if it's not already sponsored, I will sponsor a bill to end the emergency powers. Because we need a return to a democratic republic in New York State. Do you agree with me? Vote this November 3rd, vote for Republican candidates, and everybody, let's take New York State back.
You know, we don't have George Soros writing us a big check to show up here today. This has all been a volunteer exercise. This sound that you are hearing now could not be possible without the generous donation and hard pro bono work of the man behind the computer, Jonathan Rogers from Master Computer. His business has been so adversely affected by the diktats from Governor Cuomo, as many of you find yourself in that situation. Now, we have one more speaker prior to the closing remarks from Mr. Frank Panasuk, the founder and big brain behind the 1791 Society. You know, somebody, real quickly, somebody asked me, hey, how do you guys know that Cuomo is receiving treatment for for paranoia disorder? Here's the deal. Andrew Cuomo treats the people around him very badly. Have you ever had a bad boss and you can't wait to tell somebody you know about what a bad boss you have? That's the situation with the governor's office. The question is not who is leaking us information. The question is who isn't leaking information. That happens when you treat people badly. Joining us right now, Frank Smerciak, candidate for New York State Assembly in the 143rd District.
How's everyone doing today? Great. All right, I'm going to keep this short because we're running a little low on time, but I'm running for 3 reasons. One, I'm sick and tired of New York City taking priority over Western New York. We don't work for them, they work for us. And second, I'm running because I believe in what I was raised on and where I came from. My grandfather was an orphan. He fought in World War II. because that's where we're heading, Venezuela. Third, I back the blue. Let's hear for law enforcement. Law and order is on the ballot this year, and it doesn't matter where you live. Every single one of you should be voting for them. Voting for Republicans, for conservatives. That's what we need. Because every day you see on TV, you see fires burning in cities. You know what? I'm going to quote a song. We're part of those fires that are burning, but from the ashes we can build another day. A Republican future with freedom, liberty, and American values. That's what we need. 5 governors, 5 states, 40% of the COVID deaths, nursing homes. In this state alone, we're at 16,000. That is 16,000 of your grandparents, parents, friends, doesn't matter. They're all important, every single one of them. Yes. I want to take a moment of silence for those people because they've received nothing in terms of coverage. They're not seen at all. So let's take a moment of silence for them and reflect on that.